All right. We are back. It is a brand new year, and your boy Kenny is back with an all new edition of the Call Up Podcast. But this time, I said it was going to be some changes in the new year. I have a new tag team partner. His name is DJ. You remember DJ from the Run In podcast. He decided to jump shift. We left Tom behind. We just said, you know what? We're just gonna talk wrestling, because I stopped collecting figures for a while, obviously, because I had some other stuff going on, and me and DJ, we watch a lot of wrestling, and and it's good that I get somebody here with me, because before, a lot of the time it was just me talking, but then you also guys caught me on Monday nights, with Toe and Ray. We do the whole Knuckleheads stream stuff, you know what I mean? But it's good to just record a lot more, so now I got DJ here. DJ, what is going on? Introduce yourself to everyone in case they don't know you. Obviously, we have a lot of the same listeners, so
yeah, there's probably some that will recognize this voice. It's showtime once again. It's your boy DJ. Now here with the call up. So I'm here in Inglewood, kind of like I live here in Inglewood, so it's like now like a West Coast version, a West Coast honorary knucklehead, if you will.
I know.
And so yeah, me and Tommy Paradise, we had the run in for for quite a while. And that's one of the ways me and this guy got together, was through that partnership and doing all the extras for that show. And so now I'm here. Like I'm a big fan of this art form that we all love, and I have fun talking about it, and that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people will say, oh man, it's just another wrestling podcast. There's a million of them. Of course, we know this, but we like to give our opinions on stuff. We like to discuss what we feel is, changing in the wrestling world, and what we don't like about it, what we do like about it, maybe some of the things that we hope to see, in the future. So hopefully you guys will stay tuned with us, and show us the love that you've been showing to our individual platforms as we come together. It's like Biggie and Tupac, if they actually got along with each other.
Believe it or not.
And it's funny because you're skinny and you're from the West Coast, so you're Tupac, and
I even lived in the Bay for a while.
So. Exactly. I live in Brooklyn. And
so Brooklyn at?
Exactly, right. And so before we get into the weekend wrestling, because obviously there's been a lot. Because I remember when we talked about this last week, there wasn't a lot that went on. It was just like, we'll go over winners and losers, see what happens on Dynamite and stuff like that. And
now it's like
we're what, 4? Yeah, we're 4 days into the new year, and there's like 7 different things that happened all in the past 4 days, which is crazy.
Right. That's right. As we got the people starting to flow in here.
I see that. Well, it's good. We got some viewers here. If you guys are not familiar with this, obviously we do every single Thursday. Today is a late night due to my job or whatever, but normally 10 o'clock on Thursdays, it'll be me and DJ answering questions. Like I tell people all the time, please tell us your opinions of what you think of the weekend wrestling. Is there anything that we're not covering that you want us to talk about? Obviously, we'll get to your questions, and we'll throw your comments, up on the screen. If you decide that you can't catch the live version, obviously the audio version of this will go out on Fridays, so you guys can listen to it. And please just like and subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll bring you more good stuff as it happens here. How was your holiday before we get into anything? What did you do?
The holidays were pretty good because, like it's a pretty tough one for me with when it came to like work and everything. But, sometimes you get by with a little help from your friends, and, so there were gifts. There were still, like the holiday spirit happened. Like there were still gifts to be given and all that. So So still had a good time. Like still had a good time, and still got the spent some time with Athena, my
Hmm.
girlfriend, and my daughter. Like she was, like she went to with her mom for the holidays.
Okay.
So yeah, so everything's been everything. How about you?
It's not bad because obviously, like your daughter is much older than my boys. My boys are 8 and 11, so they're mostly just like, okay, I want like gifts and stuff for that. Uh, you know, Christmas, the holiday season was good. Spend it with the family. I was with my in-laws. I was with my mom and my brother. We went down to Florida for a couple of days, like 12 days that we were out there, and just try to make the best of it. The weather, I've never been to Florida in December. If anybody who's never been there and
Mm.
they decide that they want to go there in December, I would suggest maybe not doing it because it rained and it was cold, you know?
Oh,
Yeah. Like I packed shorts.
yeah, I would have too.
I did not use the shorts that I packed.
Aye.
I wore sweatpants and I wore jeans. I wore a hoodie and I wore a crew neck.
Whoa. Those are a bunch of things I would not expect to wear in the state of Florida.
Yeah. So imagine,
I can't imagine. Wow.
you know, and I was just like, okay, this is never gonna happen again. My wife said the same thing too, and I think my sister-in-law said the same thing too because she packed a whole bunch of stuff, and she didn't have like she had to go to Walmart to like get extra
Oh
stuff.
no.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad, but we made the best of it. It was still a good time. The kids got in the pool because we had like a heated pool, whatever, which was great for them. But then now I'm back home. So much stuff that happened with wrestling, so we'll get into that now. We'll start off with Monday Night Raw. Day one, I had to watch later on, and for me, I was trying to stay away from my phone.
Right.
Because I was just like, I went out that night and I said, I'm gonna just um wait the next day, try and watch it because we wasn't doing anything. And I said, I'll do it then. But me being the type of person that I am, especially running the call up page on Instagram, I'm always constantly looking at stuff. And the first thing I see is The
Yeah.
Rock
Yes.
messing up one of our greatest champions, in my opinion, and that's Jinder Mahal's return. Right. Because Triple H says, a former WWE champion was going to show up. I thought it was Batista. I was like, oh, Batista's coming out. There's going to talk about Hall of Fame. And then Jinder
I
Mahal
did
comes
like how
out.
that door was wide open when they said, "Well, a
Yes.
champion's going to show up." I was like, "Okay,
Right.
that's quite a few people that are still around."
And I even posted like Sasha Banks was going to come back for day one. I
Mm.
think I put down like see you Monday type of thing. And sure
So you
enough,
thought it
no.
was a work
I,
that they
I
stopped
thought it was
talking
I
about?
literally, but they said the same thing about Punk,
That's
where
true.
they were, oh, things were that conversation is dead in the water type of thing. And then boom, we end up getting CM Punk at Survivor
Right.
Series.
Look
You
at
know,
my yeah. No, so no, I thought it was hilarious. Like, so first, like Jinder Mahal coming out to like a wave of boos.
right.
Like this is, and then you saw people that were way jumping, like WWE haters, way jumping the gun. Oh, this is the champion that they said they were going to bring out, and we're supposed to be excited about, and then next thing you know, if you smell, and everybody loses their mind. Um, I like the ring announce, like how they have the posts of the what's her name? That's the ring announcer, and
Oh, when
her.
she was like her reaction was great because I think
Yes.
like her reaction was the same thing that like we were all most people were feeling,
Right.
you know.
Right. I like so. I think there should be things that everybody doesn't know and let them have the general reactions.
Hmm.
Like JR, for example, back in the day, he never wanted to know what was going to happen in
Hmm.
matches that the big matches that he was calling because he wanted his real emotion to come out during the match, which is
Right.
in my opinion, that's your difference between Michael Cole and JR, those are genuine reactions that he's having. Whereas Michael Cole, you could tell he knows what's going to happen. He damn near tips it off. So, so that's why, so I love that kind of stuff.
So, we get The Rock. The Rock comes out and, he's talking to Jinder, but the main focus was Roman Reigns. And I like how he did it, where he's just like, should The Rock sit at the bar? Yeah. Or should The Rock sit at the head of the table? We all know that you're coming out here now because you're going to challenge Roman Reigns, right? It's not going to be for the title, but it's going to be for the head of the table title,
right.
Type of thing.
For the necklace.
Right. But what I was something that really confused me online, and I think a lot of people, I don't know, like I'll get your opinion on this, is like now people are saying instead of having this at WrestleMania, you might as well just have this at Elimination Chamber.
No, absolutely not.
Which is stupid.
Absolutely not. No, this is a WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
The Rock is like, as you can say what you want, he is at that level where his match belongs at WrestleMania, especially against Roman Reigns.
And it's well deserved.
There's nothing you can hate. You can whatever you feel about him, it doesn't matter. Like that's the real place he is at. Like and especially it's damn near sold. Like we don't have one match booked, and that damn thing almost both nights is almost sold out. So that's where you put that match belongs at WrestleMania. I don't know who is saying this kind of stuff. I didn't see it, but no.
Yeah, they were already making graphics for it, like The Rock versus Roman at Elimination Chamber, and I'm just looking at that and I was like, that's stupid. No, like, why would you want to wait? We've been waiting so long. What, 3 years? This is 3.5 years now of having like Roman Reigns be champion, be be that guy that WWE has been pushing down our throats, like the same way they did with John Cena, to say like, okay, now he's the man. They packaged in the way that they wanted him to be, and now The Rock comes in, and you just want to not have this for WrestleMania. That makes no sense.
No, not for, like, with all due respect to Elimination Chamber, I actually, I happen to like the actual match of the Elimination Chamber. But usually the matches in between the actual Elimination Chamber matches are usually mid, right?
They're all
I think they're only there just to calm down the crowd for the next Elimination Chamber, right?
Exactly.
So, no, this is not. It's not that. Like, maybe that's where you can start to play with the storyline for WrestleMania, where you have The Rock show up again and mess with Roman Reigns. That's fine. Hell, even if you cost him the title at Elimination Chamber, I would be there for that. But the actual match, no, not at all.
And that's the thing. Like you brought up, it was like, do you put Roman in a match at Elimination Chamber, have The Rock come in and cost him the title, or do you just have Roman do double duty and face? I would say do the same thing where you're saying have him cost him the title, where he's just like, okay, you have Roman versus Cody night 1 of WrestleMania, and then you have The Rock maybe cost him that title match at night 1, which builds even more for night 2, because now Roman's going in pissed off.
Right.
Because he lost his title.
Right.
That's
like that would, again, I say pretty much any scenario where The Rock costs him, even if you threw in the Money in the Bank, a Money in the Bank cash in where The Rock even cost him, like he's about to even be, like he's even about to win again, and then The Rock caused him to lose during the cash in. Even if you did that, because I do agree. Like, it would be it'd be kind of asinine for them to have The Rock wrestle for the world title. Like, that's, we got too many guys on this roster that's been wrestling all this time to not get their true title shot. So don't do that. Don't do that to the locker room. But this match definitely deserves to be on at least one of these nights of this in this April.
Because my whole thing is that it looks like The Rock is bored. He has free time. He wants to wrestle. Where does this leave Cody Rhodes now?
Well, that's why. Well, one thing it leaves him is it's a good thing you got you have 2 world titles, so it's a good thing you got that. Maybe that might also be the reason why you're starting to see him and Jay tag team so much. So that might be something else, like, because people are too fond of Cody not to see him with some kind of strap coming up here. Like he's got to win something. Like, just like
right.
You think about WrestleMania 31, they're like, okay, we better put some kind of title on Daniel Bryan or they're going to burn down. They're going to burn down the stadium in San Francisco. So they had him win the Intercontinental title. So and everybody went home happy. So they better, so you can't let him, he's too big to have him keep running around here with no gold.
But here's the thing, though. I can't go another year with hearing
finish the story.
I need to finish the story. Or someone's gonna bring up even now with this feud with him and Nakamura, it's more of a like we're the same person. I never got. If you look at it, Nakamura's like, I never got to finish my story when I fought AJ Styles at WrestleMania.
You got your when I watched that, I was like, bro, you got your title match. You run the Royal Rumble and you got your chance and you lost. Like that's how life goes. That was your story. You lost in the title match. So that's just me. But yeah, but it's cool for the storyline. Like, it's a cool thing to say for the storyline. But, me being kind of a little bit more of a critical thinker as I watch these storylines, I'm like, dude, you had your story. But no, and they're going to have, like, they got good chemistry. Like, I think that's going to be, those are good matches. The never-ending story. There you go.
Yeah, it is. It truly is a never-ending story. But like Tyson said. But like for me, I feel like right now the way WWE is structured, we're going into a brand new era of the Royal Rumble. Because you look at it, there's different stories that could be played out in the Royal Rumble.
Which is how it should have been in the first place. Yeah.
Like at this point, you really don't need a legend.
No.
To come on there. You don't need like a surprise.
Not really.
Person from NXT. You don't need none of these people because you have Jimmy and Jay. That's a storyline right there.
Yep. Yep.
You have Solo and Randy.
Yep.
You have Cody and Gunther.
Yep.
That's still
you got the roster and Gunther.
You have Nakamura and Cody. You have Gunther, who could be that top guy now that's gonna take over, say, a spot that like Roman or Braun Strowman used to have, where like or Kane, where you eliminate all these people and get a good record. You have Punk
elimination record. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, you have Punk going in there. Seth still could be a possibility, even though he's champion. He can still go in there and say, "Hey, I want to win the Rumble and face Roman Reigns and go champion versus champion."
You could say that.
You
got your story. You still got you got LA Knight.
You got LA Knight in there too.
Like, hey, I want
with AJ Styles.
I want to climb the ladder again. AJ Styles coming in there looking like he spent his time off at the gym.
I think he's seen Randy Orton, the way he came in and was like, wait a minute, I got to get into some shape.
That's it.
Because Randy's coming in. He looked like he bulked up and was hitting the gym to make sure that his new back wasn't going to give out on him.
That's exactly what it is.
You know, and AJ said, you know what? I'm going to have to show the abs and show that you know, that DDP yoga is working, because
It do.
You know, obviously, listen, I don't know if people started going to DDP yoga route. I might end up doing it to try and lose some pounds, because shit.
I did it for a while.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did.
I got to get some
tips
tips from you then.
I probably should, like, since we're in January, I probably should go ahead and fire those, because they're like, I got those, like, I did this the adult way. I went and bought the DVD set of the yoga, so that I can, you know, I should probably pop those back in and do it again.
You're a true man and a scholar. I would have found any way to try and get this for free. I would have been hitting up Zach or whoever in the inner circle, but like, anybody got this where I could just watch it for free?
Yeah,
like,
no,
I know somebody has to have it.
And I was like, all right, I'm bored. Ooh, look at DDP, and then I watched the Jake the Snake Roberts doc, and I was like, all right, I'm getting DDP yoga. They got me. I admit it.
Oh my god! So, like, what do you want to see from me? Like, the Royal Rumble is like right around the corner now. The way these days are flying by. Like, what are we expecting from this Rumble?
Well, you named a few things there. I think we're gonna get like you said. I think so now we don't have like Kevin Dunn and Shane McMahon booking this thing. Like, so now we can get some real like storylines that are going to get you excited for WrestleMania. Like, that's that's what I'm expecting to see. I think it's time to see Jade, like, even if it's just like for a few spots. I think this would be a good introduction for Jade, to let her get in there, get some stuff in, get some slams,
right.
You know, get some power, you know, let everybody see the quickness and the power. She does like, because a Rumble, you don't have to do nothing really technical. These are all big moves. So which is that's right down the alley for her. So I think this would be a good time for Jade to come out. That's one of the things I'm looking for in the Women's Rumble. She should be ready now.
See, I'm so old school where I'm just like, if you have her debut at the Royal Rumble, she should win.
I say just have her come in one, and maybe like it takes like 6-7 people to eliminate her in the middle somewhere. I don't think she should win it.
So we're gonna go the AJ Styles route.
That's it.
Where he comes in set 2,
right, with some music you haven't heard before. Who's this? And then you have Jade come out there with her DC or Marvel outfit on and kick some ass for about an hour, you know, and then like the last 8 people, like 7 of them get together and have to put her out.
For the Royal Rumble, do you see a cash in? Because Damian Priest, another person who has a good story.
Yes.
You know, he's a part of Judgment Day. He's the Money in the Bank winner. Yeah. You know, where do you see Damian Priest in all this?
That was, so we, alluded to it a little bit ago. Man, like that, so I guess that's what's pretty good about this, is that we've not seen any kind of predictable thing happen this time around with our Money in the Bank, Mr. Money in the Bank. There's nothing predictable about it. Like every time you think something's about to happen, they've been curveballing us since he got the case, which I love. Like, please fool me. Like, I'm one of these wrestling fans. Fool me, please. Like, this is what I didn't like about the Devil storyline, which we'll go over in a little while. That I wasn't fooled. Like, you didn't fool me. There was no curveball. You told me who the Devil was in the first week that we, the week after he got attacked, we knew who the Devil was. So, and then, fell on his face. But man, let's see. So you got Elimination Chamber, like maybe at WrestleMania. Maybe we get another WrestleMania cash in here.
See, here's what I want to see. I don't want to see a regular cash in. As much as I like Damian Priest, he's been doing a phenomenal job.
I agree.
Right. But we have to remember there's still that storyline in Judgment Day where Damian Priest does not like JD McDonough.
No.
It took JD a very long time to get accepted into the Judgment Day from Damian Priest.
He kept screwing up because he kept.
And I think the one thing that maybe people have forgotten is that when Damian Priest had that Money in the Bank briefcase, it was JD who gave him that senior Money in the Bank. What I want to see is him going to cash in this Money in the Bank contract. He puts in gives the ref the briefcase. The referee rings the bell. You think he is in the match, and then all of a sudden, JD, you go for the 1, 2, 3. JD hits him with the briefcase, gives the referee the real Money in the Bank briefcase with the contract inside. Okay, and tries to pin Seth Rollins.
Let me tell you how loud I would be hollering, and my neighbors might ask for a wellness check if that happens. Because that would be wild. But yet, like you said, it's something that we haven't seen before. Which again, if you can do something that works that we haven't seen, I'm for it. For in wrestling. So I would, that would be. And then, so now all of a sudden, because of course Seth's going to kick out. So of course, so now you're going to have a triple threat all of a sudden.
But the thing about it is it really a triple threat?
They would have to, it's up to the referee or whatever.
It's up to the ref. But I would just say, well, since he's technically doesn't have the contract in his briefcase, you're technically not in the match anymore. You need to escort yourself out and stay on ringside. You know what I mean? And that's how you can set. That's how actually it's funny because you can set up Damian Priest versus JD, even though I think Damian Priest would deserve a way better WrestleMania match than having to face JD, in a just a regular match on the card. But it would still be a good thing.
I think it would be very dope. Because we've seen this man, wrestle with a musician, and make the match look good. So I think I think he can get JD to have a pretty good match too, especially with all that that kind of a storyline, that kind of emotion in the match. I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, it's either you put him in a match with JD at WrestleMania, or you have a fatal 4-way for the tag team titles, because there's a lot of tag teams that are out there now. Yeah.
No, they're starting to pile up. I remember when we were, the discussion was, man, there's no tag teams. That ain't the case anymore in WWE. There's definitely some tag teams out there. So, it's like you almost had to separate the Usos just to give everybody a chance to shine. Pretty much, now that you kind of looking back at it. So, no, we got some. So that's one thing that's great about this, is that there's a lot that can unfold as we make this, now it's January. So this is what we're used to as saying that, okay, now we're on the road to WrestleMania, literally, cause we got Royal Rumble. This is it. We're on the road, and there's a lot that can unfold here. And now I'm confident with the people that are writing it, is the thing that I'm excited about.
I'm definitely feeling the same way.
Yeah.
I want to see what happens now, because my prediction for the Royal Rumble winner obviously is going to be CM Punk.
Okay.
I think that was probably one of the main things where there was just one thing that CM Punk always wanted was to headline WrestleMania. How are you going to get him to headline WrestleMania? Let him win the Royal Rumble.
Well, at least this time there are 2 nights.
Yes.
So he you know, because back then it was only one night, everything was crammed into one night, and although like I understand why he was upset, but the match that was like, what was the main event that year when he was second?
I think it was Rock
I think it was Rock Hogan,
and
right?
John Cena.
Or was it Rock and John Cena? I think
It was Rock and John Cena,
Rock and
and
John
then it was him versus The Undertaker.
Right.
Right?
So
Right.
and it's like, so bro, that match, like you were in the right spot. Like that match was in the right spot for that WrestleMania. Like, you know, and that the whole thing with the ice cream bar and everything is just, you know.
I mean, listen, Tony got him his ice cream bars.
He did.
I had one of them. They were okay. It was way too expensive, but it was okay.
It didn't get to my stores over here. I never saw.
No, I know. Well, I got it when I went to Chicago to go see an AEW show, and they had it there, and I bought one, and I was just like, "Huh, okay." I mean, $10 for an ice cream bar.
Oh, I was just kidding when I was saying $15.
No. It was up there in price. They got that money back.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I'm going to need that and a beer at this point because just take it all now.
So my prediction, Royal Rumble winner, CM Punk, he goes on headline night one of WrestleMania because obviously you're not going to have him headline night two unless you're going to do the switch between Roman and The Rock and have them main event night one, which I think The Rock's contract will be like, no, I have to close out the weekend.
I think that's the better thing to do anyway. You know, why I'm doing this, you know, I paid all this money for these 2 days. Like the last thing I should see is The Rock. The last match I should watch on the weekend is The Rock's match.
Right.
Period. You know, like, you know, I went last year and I can't think like, so no, there's no way that the tag team match that although it was a great world tag team title match, it should not have been the last match that I should have seen that whole weekend. So no, there's a reason they make the card is like that for a reason.
So who do you have winning the Royal Rumble? I know this is really early. We're probably going to end up changing our minds.
So my
once we start getting more people in,
my early prediction.
Exactly.
You know, my early prediction, just to be different, and just because I think it would cause even more chaos, I'm going to pick LA Knight. For right now, just because it would be so, because then people would really be like, okay, what do we do from, you know, what's going to happen from here? Right? Who's he going to pick to go for the championship? What's going to happen with all the other, you know, so like there's so many questions that would happen if he won, and I like that kind of chaos. So so that's why I would my really early prediction would be LA.
Oh my God, I can only imagine if LA Knight wins. I'm going on Twitter and I'm going on Instagram, and I'm just going to just sit back and watch all the comments.
Yeah, I would have the Michael Jackson thing where he's eating the popcorn.
Yep.
Because you're gonna see like the confusion and the haters alike will will just start to fill up the comment section.
What? You're gonna get the what the fuck?
Yeah.
People are just gonna be like, how does this make sense? Who is he gonna challenge? You know,
I like the how does this make sense guy. That would be the guy that's gonna
be, I guarantee you that's gonna be one comment you're gonna see repeated over and over again is, this doesn't make sense. When
it's supposed to, right?
Literally, I just saw this guy in Brooklyn, and the minute it just said L.A., I didn't even get to hear the rest of the song because that's how loud the reaction was for LA Knight when he was here at SmackDown in Brooklyn.
Wow. I believe it.
You know?
I believe it.
But somehow, some way, you know, us wrestling fans, we're never happy. You know, we'll always find something that
because it
we
has
hate
to
about
go
the
the way I
product.
wrote it in my head, like before the
Exactly.
show started, or they did it wrong.
Listen, the way I wrote it in my head is CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble. He challenges Seth Rollins at night 1. Cody wins Elimination Chamber, challenges Roman Reigns.
Okay.
The Rock somehow is tied into this where he's gonna just be on night 1 of WrestleMania against Roman Reigns. Okay, you get Jimmy versus Jay. Yeah, you get Jimmy versus Jay night 2.
Okay.
Because you got to make it a family affair. You get Randy versus Solo night 1.
That's 2 good matches, by the way. Like the
the
brothers match and Solo versus Randy are like, those are 2 really good. like they can, those are 2 matches that will threaten to steal shows, in my opinion.
You get a triple threat match for the tag team titles. You put Judgment Day against the Creed brothers against Alpha Academy.
Okay.
Fatal 4-way. You put the Street Profits in there because obviously they're looking for those tag team titles.
Right. And finally, like, kind of embracing the heel and, doing the, you say, okay, you got to do, you got to slip out of the face stuff and do, like, you got to do some low down stuff now.
Not for nothing. As much as I love the Street Profits, I don't believe them as heels.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't.
They're so stuck in, like, doing a move and then looking at the crowd for approval. Like, they're stuck there. Like, you're the heel. You're not supposed to care what they think, and you're
like, they're still doing the goofy stuff.
Yeah.
So
so it's kind of like when, it's exactly when, they turned Sting, like, I have to use quotation marks when he was a heel. What how did I do that?
Well, I have no idea. If you're watching the live version right now,
I got confetti.
DJ just did quotation marks and like air quotes, and all of a sudden confetti came. I'm trying to. No, I don't know how you did that. That is so weird. That is so weird. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to figure that out. Yeah. That was like, and you see me, I'm like pushing. I'm like,
I didn't even think this thing had animation.
Yeah, and mind you, that was not me. I have no idea.
What?
Oh my god! Well, we talked about the men's Royal Rumble, like what we're hoping to see,
right?
But then we get to the women,
okay.
And they have a roster full of people now,
right?
And they have their own storylines because you have Becky, Nia, you have Rhea Ripley against pretty much anyone in the women's division.
Rhea Ripley versus everyone.
You have Damage Control, which you really don't know what's happening. It kind of looks like slowly they're gonna kick out.
Yeah, you can see like
Bayley.
It's starting to unravel just that slowly a little bit. I think Becky's not Becky, but oh my god,
Bayley,
the Latina, like she's gonna get kicked out.
what are you talking about from Damage Control?
Yeah.
Listen, now I'm trying to remember. So you have Asuka, you have Io Sky, you have what's the pirate princess name? Why am I'm drawing a blank now with her name.
Right. That's the thing about when you're live. Like you're like, oh
yeah.
What's the names?
And Tyson should be here to let us know because Tyson is normally good at, but like,
yeah, because he helped us with Samantha Irving earlier.
Yeah.
Bayley is going to get kicked out.
I mean, yeah, it looks obvious at this point that Bayley's going to end up getting kicked out of freaking Damage Control.
Right.
But then now, if you kick her out, do you leave her still as heel Bayley, or do we bring her back as a face? I think it would be a great time to maybe bring her back as, the huggable. I'm not gonna, Bailey. I kind of miss that about her at times. You know what I mean? When she used to come out with the inflatable buddies.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then this is also a good way to bring Sasha Banks back in because Bailey doesn't have any friends anymore, and the one friend that she had is out of WWE.
And like you said, like, when you got me thinking about that now, that like they said the exact same thing during the negotiations with CM Punk. That they broke down, and it's not looking good, and then all of a sudden, look in my so
yep.
So, and what do you like? Are you a Sasha Banks fan, or what's your...
So I could say this: when she was in WWE, I was a really big Sasha Banks fan. I was a supporter, of the things that she was doing with the women's division. Her, Zelina Vega, Natty, Bailey, like these are women, like Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair. Like I could name so many people before this started to grow even more, where like they were pushing themselves to have these really great matches to try and match a lot of the guys that were there. And Sasha Banks was like the head of the table of these people to push to have like these really good matches. And then she leaves WWE, and I'm just like, okay, this is your time now to show like all the stuff that you was yapping about. It was your time. And I don't feel like her run in the indies was great.
I don't like, I wasn't, like you said, it wasn't nothing mind-blowing. That presser where she's playing the ukulele didn't go well.
Yeah.
I think I think we just have some folks that are really good wrestlers. But it's just a little bit better with that production behind them.
Yep.
I think we're seeing that with Adam Copeland. I think let's see what happens with because we just had Dirk, or not Dirk, but Dolph signed with he just showed up at Wrestle Kingdom. So let's see what happens with him there. But yeah, there's just some people like they're better with some production with them, and I think
Sasha Banks is one of them. Most definitely, because you've seen the way her production value and her matches were in WWE, where it was something to talk about,
right?
Rather how now she went to New Japan, she had a good match, then she got hurt, and like Willow ended up winning a championship that she was supposed to win. Then you had an altercation with the fan at Comic-Con, and and then there were talks of you going to AEW.
That one I back, like, cause it's like,
right,
folks. Remember, when you read stuff from dirt sheets, like you still don't quite like that stuff is not like it's 50-50. Okay, you're now in front of the wrestler's face and they're telling you no, that's not true. Then that's who you need to listen to, not the dirt. Like, she knows better than Dave Metzler. Okay, so come on now.
Yeah, I mean, I agree in a way, and then there's other times where I'm just like, she just needs to like calm it down a little bit.
Sure.
It's just like they're looking for a reaction and you're giving it to them.
Well, and then taking pictures like 30 feet from, like, you're supposed to be taking like your photo op and she's like 30 feet away. I remember those.
Let me tell you something. When I saw that, this is why like I can't spend money on a Sasha Banks meet and greet, because that's like a 50-50 chance.
You don't know what you're gonna get. Yeah.
You don't know if you're gonna walk in and get a hug or you're gonna walk in and see the plexiglass. Like, you don't know what you're getting.
Oh, like, so. No, that's
Yeah,
just sign my figure I think that'll be enough.
Exactly. I'm like, let me get half my money back. I don't want to take the picture.
Yeah.
Just sign the damn action figure and we'll call it a day.
Right. I think that's enough. Whereas, like, so I met like when I went to a meet and greet with Thunder Rosa, and she big hug, like big, like good, like 6-7 second hug. Like she really meant the hug. Like there was meaning behind it. Like, I'm happy that you spent money to meet me. Like, so that she was, there was genuine humbleness about that. And when I met her, and it probably the complete opposite with the Sasha Banks thing.
Yeah. So so like now when it comes to the women's Royal Rumble, I don't know who they might give this honor to win the Rumble match, because my prediction was Raquel to win, but obviously she's going through some medical issues right now. So she's not going to be, she's not going to be around for a good couple of months. Yep. But like now, who do you put in that space? Do you give it to Becky again?
Let's see. So they got just from how crowds are reacting, which I don't agree with, but you gotta calm down on Bianca. You got to pull, you got to throttle back on her.
Oh, listen. She's gotten booed a couple of big big pay-per-views.
Kind of pisses me off, but oh well. Like, people are finicky, so
cool.
All right. So let her have. She's probably going to be the last few people in, just to make that last part be nice and theatrical. But she should, just because of that, she can't win it. And then who else you got? So, yeah, this is a tough one. Like you said, this is tough.
I say you give us a swerve. If you don't give it to Becky, you give it to Ivory Niles.
Okay. Yeah, this one
she's been doing great with the Creed brothers, and she had that really good match with Rhea Ripley.
True.
True. I think she could put on another good match at a WrestleMania.
Okay.
If you give her that opportunity.
I need a couple weeks. I don't even I can't even call it right now. I need to look out.
I'm just shooting off the hip right now.
What's that?
But I'm shooting off the hip right now. But I guarantee you my answer will change.
Almost like the randomizer when you're playing WWE 2K and the have a random person win.
Like, that's the guy. That's the girl. We're gonna win it all.
Yeah, I can't even call it. I need to I need some more content here to even call it. But yeah, because there's so much that can happen, and and people are getting, it's like you said, the women they've been telling some good stories in the ring, and they've been doing their thing. So I like to give me a couple weeks. I'll get when we have our prediction show, I'll be ready.
Yes. So now we jump shift. We leave the island of WWE, and we move on to the somewhat big island of AEW. And I say somewhat because you never know who's there. You don't know how much land Tony Khan has in this island, even though he has a shitload of money, and he's spending some money to try and make the fans happy. We had World's End, which was in Long Island, New York last weekend. If I didn't go to Florida, I would have most likely went to World's End.
Okay.
It was finally revealed who the devil was.
Right.
I was talking to my wife's uncle, and he was asking me, he's like, who do you think it is? And I said, oh, it's obviously Adam Cole. He goes and tells me, you know who I think won the tag team titles? The two guys that are with Roderick Strong. He's like, I think Roderick Strong is the devil. And I said, it would make it would make sense, but I think it's Adam Cole. And sure enough, it was Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and the Kingdom, because I'm going to put all of them together as one group. Before I give my opinions on this, what did you think of this? Like when they finally revealed that Adam Cole was the devil?
I kind of gave my prequel to this. I just again, I like when things fool me. I like to be fooled. I don't want to be able to just put it together and see like this really easy thing. So the whole time I'm like, okay, anybody but Adam Cole. Like you had the after he got attacked and he had the mask hanging in the locker room that everybody can clearly see in that promo. All right, so that's why I was like, okay, it clearly can't be Adam. Like if it's that's juvenile. If it's Adam Cole, right? So
right.
So I was upset. I'm like, come on, guys. Like I mean, so for everybody that's hasn't listened to me before, I don't hate before I can be critical, but I do not hate this company because I know that wrestling is better when you have when you have more than one company that's doing well. So it's when there's when you will change the channel to go watch the other, like the one company knows if we're not doing if we don't have something people want to watch, they're going to change the channel to the other company. Okay, so that's when wrestling is good. Okay, and so when I'm critical of AEW, it's because it's like being critical of your kid. Like you want them to do you're saying all this stuff, but it's because you want better.
Exactly.
Okay, so before I go in, I wanted to make that clear for everybody that doesn't know me before I go into this. It's that was just that was the worst thing possible. That was the worst person possible to be it could have been anybody. It could have been anybody else. It could have been Aubrey, and this would have been a better story. Okay. Okay. So it was,
even though I hate Aubrey, but okay.
We waited that long to come all the way around to the mask that was hanging above his head the whole time. We're not that stupid. It's like we got treated like we were children. Like that's why I didn't like that.
This was a Vince move.
Yeah. So no. And then I feel bad for Wardlow too. I think he's counting down to his contract being up.
Oh, he's definitely going to WWE.
It's like, wait, now you're putting me in another group? So it's like where I'm going to be in the back of the line. And then, is Adam Cole a manager? Don't tell me he's a manager. After all of that, do not tell me Adam Cole is a manager. Okay.
I mean, the man is hopping on one foot right now. So what else can he do?
I know.
Which is why I hated the fact that they put for them to put Adam Cole as the devil. And I agree with you. Like before I get into my rant about this, about my feelings, I love AEW. I think I want to see AEW stay around for a very long time.
Correct.
Because it's the wrestling world needs AEW in its life.
Yes.
But you have to do better.
Yes.
You can't now tell me that Adam Cole, which a lot of people already predicted that he was going to be the devil in the first place, is the devil now. He had real surgery, ladies and gentlemen. So now you're telling me that you're going to drag this out even longer?
Yes.
You made this man go all the way to New Jersey to stand in the middle of the ring and literally go and say, well, now Roderick Strong is going to go after the, international title, and Wardlow's going to go over to Samoa Joe, or hopefully if Samoa Joe doesn't have the title anymore, he's going to go after the world title, and the Kingdom is going to stay with the tag team titles. And then which caught me way off guard. And if you looked at Dynamite when Adam Cole said this, and he goes and says that when he's better and he's medically cleared, Wardlow is going to drop the title to him. I felt like this was I was watching some old WCW promo from Kevin Nash. Remember when Kevin Nash just gave up the title to Hogan,
Yes.
and it was just like 1, 2, 3,
The finger
and
punch.
Hogan was champ?
Yeah.
Like, is this what we're doing now?
Or shoot, we could go to Andre and Ted DiBiase. Like,
Exactly. Oh my god, I was like, I laughed. My wife laughed at it because she's more of a AEW fan than WWE. Like, she'll watch WWE, but she, if it's on type of thing. Like, she won't sit there and be like, oh my god, SmackDown's on, let me turn it on, unless I'm in the living room.
right.
But if like AEW is on, she's just like, hey, AEW's on, I'm cutting my show just to watch this. And she even said, she was like, why? Why is this happening on my TV right now? And she's looking at me like if I'm like
you wrote it,
working for Fightful, and I can call somebody backstage and be like, hey, like, what was the meaning of this? I'm looking at her confused too. Like, listen, I just talk about wrestling because I'm just giving my opinions. Like, this is not a career. Like, I don't get paid for this. I'm sorry, I can't. I don't have the answers for you. I can maybe put you a Twitter, and you can maybe ask Sean Rossap, and he can, get back to you on that type of question. But I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
MJF is hurt. He lost the title at World's End to Samoa Joe. Which, shout out to Samoa Joe, because somebody on Twitter listed every single title Samoa Joe has won, and it's just like, damn. Like, now you've won the title at a major company. Not saying like, TNA and NXT wasn't like, major, but for you to be champion of a brand where they're trying to compete with a bigger, like, I'm going to say like Megatron. Yeah. Of a company where it's just like, okay, now what do you do? Like, can Samoa Joe live up to the hype and be that champion that everyone's going to love, like a Jon Moxley, like MJF, like a Chris Jericho?
We shall see. I personally am a fan of Samoa Joe more than everybody that you just named. So that part is exciting for me because I really like Samoa Joe. Let's see how long they let him. Like, so are we gonna get some length on this title reign? Because if you just gave him a title to hold on to further the storyline of the Kingdom, let me tell you, like, I really feel like you're gonna see some numbers drop. That's like, I for real think that. Like, it's like, okay, we got Samoa Joe. I think there's a lot of people that are excited about this. Like, if you were gonna take the title off of MJF, which, MJF, he had a nice long title reign. Like, there's no shame for MJF losing this match, I guess, especially against Samoa Joe. And just to have him lose it at the next pay-per-view to somebody like the Kingdom cheating him out of it, that's gonna,
right.
I don't think that's gonna go well.
I mean, we've seen it before with Samoa Joe, where like he's lost titles that he shouldn't have lost to people that he shouldn't have lost to.
Yeah.
And even MJF said it, that WWE did not treat him the way he was supposed to be treated, which is true.
And there was also some injuries. Like, there was, it kind of went back and forth with that. Like, there was a two-way street on that one, in my opinion.
Right.
Because there was some injury concern and actual injuries. And I would have tried him at the man could talk. I would have tried him at commentary as well.
I thought they were going to leave him at commentary just like the same way they did in WWE, but obviously they wanted him to like go out there and wrestle because that's what he loves to do.
Right.
He wants to go out there and entertain the people.
Yeah. And I bet you we find out later that they just let's just try something else, and if down the line we can meet again, like how it is with WWE anyway. Because they always also have a roster, but they try to make sure they do try to make sure there's like a rotation at least. And if you're injured, then you kind of lose your spot. So, I'm pretty sure he was like, okay, I'd rather go over here than to be in catering. So, so no, I bet you there was no real animosity there. It was just, let's just both try something else.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Let's see how this goes.
Find out, right? Well,
exactly.
It always comes out.
We talked about production, about how it helps a superstar look better than what they are.
Yes.
You mentioned Adam Copeland.
Yes.
AKA Edge. Yes. He will always be Edge to me.
Me too.
I think his run in AEW has been super lackluster. I'm sorry. I don't think that they're getting the investment that they were hoping for. I think they're getting maybe like half of that investment. I think what they wanted to do, and I know eventually they're going to end up doing this, is where they're going to have an Edge and Christian run, where they're going to bury this storyline that they are going with, and these two are going to tag team together. They should have just did that from the jump and made Edge heel.
I'm about to say, even as a heel tag team, I think we would have been entertained. You're exactly right. Let me tell you what we're seeing. And this is going to blow some people's mind. We'll probably even see it. Like, people are probably going to play a clip of this somewhere. We're seeing that, like, Edge's real weakness is promos against another wrestler when it's not scripted, and we're seeing it. So think about every promo that Edge has ever done that got you ready for a match. He was either in the ring by himself and he was just hollering about something and he was emotional about it, or he was with Christian, or it was clearly scripted. Now AEW, as we know, these promos are not scripted. They just say, hey, we're going to talk about this. Shoot from the hip. And he can't do it. He can't do it. This is his weakness. It took some of the mystique away from him. Like what happened with Ricky Starks took some luster off of him. It took some of the mystique. It took some of the superhero that we thought. He crumbled to this guy and went to a cheap shot. Like, he had to go to a cheap shot that people didn't find funny, like, or they didn't have an emotion towards it. So, which means you lost. Like, if you got to say something cheap like that, then you lost this promo.
Exactly.
So, and that's what we're seeing. That's why you feel that way.
Because Christian
is clearly
he is great on the microphone.
Yeah, he's very sharp.
Like, he's true to this character that he's playing.
Yes.
Like, he's playing the asshole stepfather that we all see in those cheesy movies.
Man.
And I love it. I fucking love it.
Luchasaurus's name and just like not even like, and then
like, yeah, fuck it, I don't care.
I want to
like what myself. He did. He lost it. Listen, he loses the title. I remember I looked at the graphic and I was like, oh shit, Edge won the TNT title, and then all of a sudden it popped right back to Christian, and I was like, wait a minute, how did that go? Because I didn't watch World's End live. Like, I watched it the following day on my phone, and I'm like, wait a minute, but how the hell did he win the title? And then sure enough, he took the title from, was it Killswitch?
Right.
And he ended up taking the contract and then cashing it in, getting the title back from Edge. I'm like, you know what? This is stupid. and that's one of the things that I complain about when it comes to like AEW is like, you could have just built this a little bit longer, or at least let him have the title for at least a couple of days, like you did Wardlow.
You could have did that on Dynamite.
You know, remember Wardlow won the title on a Sunday and then lost it Wednesday? Like,
that sounds like a remember that song, that Wyclef song, if I became president? That's
yeah,
what it sounds like.
But I don't know. Like, I think Tony has way too many hats on, and it's showing in the product itself. I think Edge needs that WWE magic to make his matches look a whole lot better. I seen that spot that he did with Nick Wayne. My God, he almost killed that kid.
Like, you think you're going through a table, and all of a sudden you're taking a concrete.
I don't think nobody told him that AEW tables don't break.
Well, you got to hit the table first off.
I mean, listen, they didn't learn that in Table Class 101 for AEW.
Wasn't it the bunny that like she had a table bump and like she just hit the edge of the table?
Yep.
And then boom.
That was when they did their hardcore match, and then Willow was the same way when she did the power bomb from the top of the ramp.
Oh, that's right. And and Ty Conti was just
Yep.
Yes, I remember that.
Remember Sammy Guevara and Matt Hardy?
Yes. Head cracked.
that was bad.
Yes. And they had him continue. Oh, he's okay. He's
I still want to know who the fuck was that doctor. Where did you get your medical license, sir? Because I need one.
That's who it was.
Holy shit.
Let's see what, like, we're thinking of all these botches now, and then so you have
people gonna hate us. People, I could see it now when it comes to AEW. They're gonna be like, "You fucking guys."
Yeah.
Because I have some grievances that I need to freaking air out with AEW. Like, where the fuck is Britt Baker right now? Somebody explain this to me. If you're listening to this right now, I need to know where Britt Baker is, because your boyfriend, fiance, whoever he is to you, is hopping along to an AEW show, not once but twice, and we still have not seen Britt Baker.
And to your point, like, that would have, like, and it would even fit the whole thing. Like, just let her be a female member of the kingdom. And then she can like run in there and do like some cheap shots or whatever that he can't do at the moment. And and then she could have been standing in the ring when they're all wearing all black while he was making all these proclamations and everything. They didn't mind parading them out there for that tournament that they both won.
Nope.
Okay, so we already know they're together. So that's not even, they're not making that a thing that's not supposed to be known. So I agree with you on that. Like, so you have this, I'm not a huge Britt Baker fan, but she doesn't deserve to be in catering. I'll say that much. And especially with what's going on, like you have, she's been having grievances. Like, you've been seeing her we've been seeing her on social media, and I agree. Like, they're getting one match, they're getting one match a night, and the only person that gets to talk is Toni Storm. That's it.
Listen,
and it's over.
Toni Storm's character now in AEW is the best. There's only one thing that they need to do with Toni Storm now that she's champion. All her matches need to be black and white.
Or have like the referee, really old referee, like the old school, like bow tie.
Like, there should be no excuse as to why we don't have a black and white match for Toni Storm. You gave us the House Rules when they were the Trios champions, the House of Black rules, and they wrestled in the dark.
You had the Fiend also. He wrestled in red.
Why can't we have a black and white match?
So basically, make it look like the NWO entrance every time. Every time she.
Yeah, I need it to look old school. If you're gonna give us this whole Marilyn Monroe glamorous, character, obviously, I feel like it should be in black and white.
That's an idea. Like, I do like the servant thing. Like all these spots where the servant helped her out. I do like those. Like I said, the way I would take it up a notch is so the referee always have like the old school, like when you watch the old Bruno Sammartino matches and stuff, how they would be very formally dressed and everything. I would have that. Even the bell, like I would have like an old school bell every time she wrestled.
Oh yeah.
And just very, very much like everything's catered to the time that she thinks she's in her head, like for this character. No, it's very funny. Like her character is very funny and very hilarious. And
then like the storyline she's doing with Mariah now is basically Mickie James and Trish Stratus.
So when we were doing like winners and losers, the one thing that was the one thing I like. So my one, so just kind of going back. So for Raw, my losers were that tag team match with where the guy got the concussion in the middle of it. So we got to, so Raw, we got to do better there. So Mariah May's match, her opponent looked better than her, like,
oh yeah,
miles better. I'm like, wait, I thought, and then they had like a whole interview session and everything with Mariah at the end of the match. I'm like, wait, she didn't look good in her match, like, and then she only did one move, like she got beat up the whole time. She does one move and wins. If you don't believe me, go back and watch it. I'm like, that's really bad. Giovanni. And
yeah, so that's who got the concussion.
Yeah. So the young lady that Mariah was wrestling, like pillar to post, beat her all up and down the ring, and she does one move and wins. And then they're talking to her like she like squashed her. I was like, no, this doesn't work. Like this, I thought the other young lady was the one we're supposed to be looking at. Like that's how bad that match looked. What are we like? So, that it's not going to work. Like this is who if they're trying to push her, it's not going to work.
It would have been smart, instead of having the interview with her, you leave this for like, say, Collision or next week's Dynamite, where she's asking Toni Storm, hey, what did you think of my match?
Right.
And Toni Storm goes into this whole big like director character and goes over all the mistakes that she made. You know what I mean? Just to like tear her down. Like she's on a high right now. I won my first match on Dynamite, my debut. Tony's gonna love it. And then Toni just chops it all up. Like, this was bad. She beat you on this. You got lucky on that. You could have done better on this. You could have done better on that. And that could just set that tone where eventually you're going to get Toni Storm versus Mariah.
Right. Which is, I don't like right now. I don't think Mariah belongs in a ring with Toni Storm. Like that's how I feel right now. Like,
right.
I could be wrong. I could see maybe she'll have a better outing. Like that was really the first match I've really sat and watched of Mariah. And I'm like, she still looks in development. Like she looks green as grass. and again, the other young lady, if they haven't signed her, they should. Like she looked way more prepared and just a way better athlete. And I was disappointed. Like I was like, wait, so she does one move and wins? Like,
yep.
So yeah, no, I oh man, so yeah, that didn't go well. But my winner though was Takeshita is a badass. Like I think he's not getting the recognition that he deserves. That man is like, just like Don says, like the guy has beaten Kenny Omega every time he's gone against him.
Oh yeah,
and then he's putting up these match after match. Just boom.
That was a great. Him and Darby put on a really great match.
They did.
My standout person that I was just like, man, like I'm really hoping that 2024 is a good year for him,
Mhm.
and that was Dante Martin.
Especially
The
at
match that he put
speaking of
on,
botches.
yeah. You know, the match that he put on with Orange Cassidy,
Mhm.
I thought it was great.
Mhm.
Like, I wouldn't even have been mad if he would have won.
Right. I thought he
And
was
he won
going
the title.
I
Right?
actually thought he was going to win that one. No, I got no like Dante, like their whole tag team. Like I enjoy them. I enjoy watching them. I'm somebody that I don't mind acrobatics, but it's got to make sense to the point that this is a fight. If that makes sense. Like, so
Right.
I'll see people do acrobatic stuff, but it's like, okay, but I saw the guy wait for you for 2 minutes to
Mm-hmm.
make the jump. So this doesn't make sense as I'm trying to put away, trying to put away, that this is fake
Right.
and see that this is a simulated fight. So I don't like that. Like, so that's one of the reasons why I'm not a big Bucks fan. It's just like, so you have these spots that, okay, but I can see everybody waiting for you to jump.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is a fight. We should be fighting. Like, why would I wait for you? Like, that's why I like when Samoa Joe just kind of walks away when you when you jump. I'm like,
Oh my God. I love when he
should
does
happen.
that.
Yeah. So yeah. So and that's in Top Flight. I don't like their matches are boom boom boom, and you don't see that. Like it's very timed, even though they're doing something acrobatic. But it made sense in the fact that that's still it's still telling a story in the ring, even though that was a very acrobatic move.
So I'm definitely want to see what happens to Dante Martin in 2024. I'm praying for the best because he's very accident prone. I feel like Top Flight has
They're kind of cursed.
FTR curse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember when FTR was in WWE? Yep. They were in NXT. They got hurt.
Every time
they moved up to the main roster, got hurt. They got to AEW, got hurt.
Yep.
Like,
yep.
You know, they just. So
and they're not even doing nothing crazy.
No. I think they found a way to take the curse away from them and give it to Top Flight because, my God,
like, here you go, young bucks.
Here you go. I'm gonna pass this torch to you guys because you got to pay your dues.
We've seen the doctor enough. Okay, they've gotten enough of our checks. You guys go do Canadian destroyers off of 2 stories of tables and have fun with that.
One thing that I have to say that I love too about Dynamite on Wednesday was that we're gonna get Hangman versus Swerve again. The last time these guys met in a ring, I said both of them needs to get tested because there was a lot of blood
and drinking it.
There was a lot of spitting, and now we're gonna end up getting this again. I don't know what type of match they're gonna put on.
Where do you go from there?
I don't know where you go from that last one to this. Like, unless you're gonna hit the person with a car.
I think somebody literally is gonna have to pull out a 22 and shoot the other one. Like that's
like someone calling R. Anderson in and have them fucking get this match going.
I say 22 so you don't kill them. Just enough for the flesh wound.
Exactly, but I don't know. I'm super hyped for it.
Where do you go from the last match? Where do you go?
I don't know.
And then what's it for? Like, what do you like? So, because the other thing I will caution is like, okay, what does the winner get out of this? Okay, if it's not going towards them getting some kind of title shot, what are we like? So seriously, you're taking some mileage from the wrestler that even wins this thing. And then, so how does he get into the title picture after this win? Because it should happen. Like, if we're going to go through all this all over again, then what's it all for? So that's the only thing
hopefully it's for something. Yeah. Because just these two having this Peter Griffin and the chicken kind of storyline, it's going to be never ending.
I like that. Somebody should make that where you put their faces in. Yeah.
But I'll say we wrap it up here.
All right.
Obviously next week we'll have more to discuss, and we'll have a better format. I felt like the first episode was just, us getting our opinions out there, and seeing what everybody else, had their opinions. Obviously Tyson had his, and Matthew jumped in.
Before we go, you want to do like some of the, like, make sure we got the questions.
Let's see. We had Tyson on here, was just giving us some stuff here.
So thoughts on Camille possibly.
Yeah. There's been talks of Camille. She's still the NWA Women's Champion. There's been talks of her in WWE having meetings. They're very interested in her. I've been saying for the longest she's been a big star for NWA, and just the same way like LA Knight was for them, and Ricky Starks, and Eddie Kingston, and now you have her coming in, and she could. I think I wouldn't put her in NXT just because I feel that she spent so much time in NWA that you have to put her on the main roster. You have to put her on Raw, because Raw right now for like the women's division, you need to continue building it.
Build the numbers.
Yeah,
because like you said, they got their starters, and they're doing fine. But like I agree, like one or two injuries away from their like the Raw women's division being like, okay, what are we watching? Like, so you're gonna be watching the same two women wrestle every week. Like you're two injuries away from that.
Because if you lose Rhea Ripley, you basically just have Becky Lynch and Nia Jax.
Right. Who had
your two top stars.
Yeah. That was my winner, by the way, for Raw was Nia Jax. Like, it's like, again, that's one of those, you can not like her all you want. She's improved. Like, that was a really good match, and she really improved.
Shout out to Natty.
Better than what she was before. Like, I think she's in better shape. She like, hey, sometimes it takes that. Sometimes it takes that kick in the butt, and you got to go home for a while to wake you up, and then you go, okay, let me take this seriously.
And who you have to thank for that?
Who's that?
TJ and Natty.
Okay.
And their little heart dungeon that they built in Florida, where they're helping these stars get better in the ring.
Okay.
I seen a video with Jade.
She good
at the Heart Dungeon, and she looked way better than she did in AEW days. Right.
That's all she really need, like, because she already had everything else. That's all she really needed was some tutelage, like some fine tuning. That's all she really needed. And then who's like Ashley's WWE fan? Like, do you know who Ashley is?
Yeah, Ashley's a long time viewer / listener. She recently lost her job. Hoping for the best. Hoping she gets another one soon.
I'm
Matthew says what's
Ashley,
up.
So don't.
Yeah,
let's hang in there. We'll be all right.
Matthew's from the UK. He says, "Happy New Year, guys."
All right,
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
So I guess we'll close it out here. Obviously, day one is in the books right now for me and DJ. We'll be back next Thursday, giving more of our. We'll have winners and losers for the week, and we'll give our opinions on stuff. Obviously, this one here was like an hour and some change. Some episodes will probably be shorter. Other days will be longer. Tyson is still in the building here. He says, "Welcome aboard, DJ, to the new call-up era, to the new era of the call-up." Of course, glad to have you here, DJ. Normally it's just me ranting about stuff from like, in my living room to the screen and having people give me their opinions. But it's good to actually have a back and forth conversation. I probably wouldn't even be lasting an hour and a half talking like this.
Good.
So it's great to have you here.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to I'll probably get some honorary Knucklehead shirts made. I think I think is in order.
We gotta listen. We gotta ship you out one. You know, we have plenty. I gotta go in the closet and take one out and give it to you.
And you know, I saw a live of I saw Gigi was at the show.
Yes, she went to Dynamite. She actually got to meet Tony Khan.
Yeah, I saw that.
Her and her daughter Riley, which was amazing.
Yeah. So you know, so yeah, I'm there. I'm I've been keeping up. But yeah, so I'm happy to be here.
Mondays,
this
if you want to come in on a Monday and shoot the shit on a Monday Night Raw,
I think I might have to.
Please, we'll give you the link. You just jump right in. You know, our format is mostly just talking shit the whole entire time, and then
I can do that.
Queuing in the raw moments,
right?
When you know when it's there and giving our opinions on stuff. Well, we have a good time,
right?
We make 3.5 hours go by really fast.
That's funny. Yeah, I think I might have to start popping into those. But what's funny is that like I get like, so remember I'm on the West Coast, so
yeah, I know.
So most of the time when I just want to know what's gonna happen, like I don't feel like waiting for it to come on. I'll watch the show. I'll watch the raw viewing and see what's happening from you guys. So now you can possibly get my live reactions to things.
There you go.
So.
Oh my God. So guys, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next Thursday. Obviously, if you're watching the live version, we'll be back next Thursday at 10 o'clock. That will be our start time to do all this. But if you want to catch the audio version, you can catch us every single Friday at 10 o'clock on all streaming platforms. For myself and DJ, you guys have a very safe week. Write down your notes because there will be homework next week. We'll have our first giveaway next week.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. You have to actually join the live show in order to know what the giveaway is. Guys, until next time, be safe.